First, I want to go over some of the hardwoods at Amish Direct Furniture, because that seems to be a concern with people. What am I getting after I pick out this hardwood? And I want to go over that because you can have different looks just based on the different grains you're going to achieve from different hardwoods. First thing I want to go over are the types of grains that'll happen. One of the things I like to talk about are the maples and the cherry woods. Those are very, very smooth to touch. They're very, very smooth, and they're also prone to dings and dents showing up more. So you have to be aware of what you're getting to understand that in a certain spot that could be good, in certain spots it could be bad if you have a smooth wood. The most used area is your dining room table. Your dining room table takes up the most abuse probably out of all your furniture that's in your house. So a smooth top, and you're throwing keys on it, you're throwing your silverware at it, you're doing this and that at it, this can dent a lot easier than your other woods I'm going to introduce. The other ones I'm going to introduce are the oaks. We have two of them. We have a quarter sawn white oak, and we also have a red oak. And we also have a hickory wood. Those three woods right there are going to take on a grainy look. Some people don't like that grain, so that's the way they go back to the smooth woods, which are your maples and your cherries. But your oaks and your hickory is the best sometimes for the tabletop that you're dealing with, or maybe some other piece of furniture that takes on a lot of family abuse. Those hide family abuse the best out of those hardwoods that we're offering. So I just want to let you know how the hardwoods show, and that means the oaks will be grainy, and so will the hickory. And your two maples and your cherry wood, which we actually keep hidden away because it darkens with sunlight, so we keep it hidden, those are very smooth to touch. Your brown maple and your cherry are the lightest duty hardwoods we offer. They're the easiest to dent. The hickory and the hard maple are the two hardest hardwoods we offer, and the two oaks are right in between those two for hardness. Okay, one of the things I want to talk to you about is the color of the hardwoods. Now, every hardwood that we're dealing with will take on a different color. Even if we're putting the same exact stain on, it'll take on a little bit of different look just based on the hardwood itself. So I want you to understand that when you're picking out your hardwoods also. What we can do with all these hardwoods, and people have they want a maple color or they want an oak color. Well, really, that's not really the way it is. It's really kind of set up where we can actually take the hardwoods, we can make them like this hard maple area. We can actually make it blonde all the way to black. These are all hard maple boards. They're just colored differently. Same thing with the brown maple boards. Same thing with the oak boards. I have blonde all the way to black. So you can actually color them anywhere in between that too. A lot of people do too is they'll actually two-tone things. They might use a brown maple, real dark color up top, and then they may use an oak because they want the family to to take that on, and this will take it a lot better than this will, but they might want that base to be different, and that adds a little bit of contemporary to it. So these are lots of things that we can do with these hardwoods, just to let you know on how that can turn out. The brown maple and the oak, those are your beginning price woods there. Those are the beginning of almost all your furniture. They'll be the very beginning. Brown maple will just be a few dollars, maybe sometimes over oak, but they'll be real close to each other. But when you're dealing with the premium woods, when I talk premium, I'm talking hard maple, and I'm also talking quarter sawn white oak, and I'm also talking hickory, and I'm also talking some cherry woods that I've got hidden, but it looks a lot like brown maple. When you're dealing with those four hardwoods, now you're jumping up in the neighborhood of around 30%, depending on the builder. So that's how the pricing works when you're dealing with the hardwoods. Let me go over some of the finishing for you so you understand how the finishing costs go. When you're dealing with just your standard one coat of stain, that's just standard pricing right there. But when we're dealing with stuff that we'll have to do with like these specialty boards we have over here, if we're painting, if we're doing any light distressing, things like that where the Amish cost a little bit extra time and a little bit extra production to do, yeah, then it's going to cost a little extra. And a lot of customers like to do that to get, like this here will get them a nice kitchen feel, but then they might want to add a top that's you know, that makes it more contemporary, and it kind of changes that to where they get both the best of both worlds. They get a little contemporary look, but yet they get a kitchen-y look also with this. And then also we're doing, a lot of customers are doing black bases too, or roughed up bases or dye bases, where they might do something like this where it has a lot of distressing. And yeah, this costs extra to do this, but it's nice because if you're dealing with a kitchen dining room table and you got feet underneath it, or a trestle underneath it, and people ding and or hit it with their feet and they're kicking at it, and then your vacuum cleaner hits it, things along that line, now you already have the distressing built into the piece already, so it really hasn't changed its age. This will automatically make it look older, though. You have to understand that. So that's when we're dealing with stressing or any sort of specialty staining. That cost can be anywhere from usually about 5 to 15% extra on your piece of furniture. Always one of our very first questions that gets presented to us is, how long is it going to take me to get my furniture? Well, this is not made, this is not factory made. These are all little Amish shops spread throughout Indiana, spread throughout Ohio, and they are in country living. And they have pole barns. They're making all this furniture out of it for us. As soon as I place the order with the Amish, they actually confirm it with us, and then we expect somewhere in the neighborhood of around 12 to 16 weeks if you're out of state. It could be anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks if you're local here in the Detroit area. So I want to let you know how long things can take, but the beautiful thing is you're going to get the only piece on earth like that.